The second element of pedagogy is the knowledge of the common conceptions, misconceptions and difficulties that students encounter when learning particular content. The more you understand why students find certain parts difficult to understand or to learn, the better you can help them. Very relevant here is that you know what kind of misconceptions students might have. Often people already have heard about a topic and somehow think they already understand it, though their knowledge could be quite superficial or plainly wrong. One way of finding this out is to ask students about what they already know, how they would describe the topic, etc.